What's up, guys? AW here. Mephisto now in the MCU. What can this mean? What can the introduction of Mephisto in MCU mean for the future of not just this character, but the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Well, in this video, I'm gonna delve into possibilities what I think this could lead to, possibly lead to, theories this could lead to, with the introduction of Mephisto and what the impact of Mephisto the MCU could have in store for this universe. But before we get into my thoughts and my theories, my maybe ideas, nothing. This is not based on scoops, speculation. I have no insight, no inside information. But before I get into that, make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, yeah, do all that. Subscribe, like, smash the like button down below for new and current subs. Also, if you're interested in becoming a member of my channel, down below there's the membership button, the join button down below underneath this video. 2 tiers. The second tier is not much more expensive. The first tier is only $2 more for about $2 or $3. And the first tier is about $1. So the second tier is about $3. Not overly expensive. I do post sometimes on members only. I think this upcoming week I might post stuff for members first, and then public later. But yeah, I want to get into this, man. So let's get into this. Okay, let me get into this. So yeah, so if you watch Ironheart, if you fully watch Ironheart, you know in the last episode we finally got Mephisto in human form. Yes, he did see a demon kind of form in the reflection of the spoon he was using to stir his cup of tea or whatever coffee it was. Doesn't matter. You see the reflection of his demonic form, the red in the glowing eyes. But most of the episode we saw him in his human form, and the actor is Sacha Baron Cohen, famously from Ali G, Borat, The Dictator, movies like that. But yeah, so he's playing Mephisto in the MCU in about 3 to 4 years. Has been a running gag about Mephisto. First talking about WandaVision, No Way Home, Doctor Strange about Mephisto. It's been a kind of running gag with this character, right? Yeah. So, but in Agatha, if you watch Agatha, Mephisto's name was mentioned. So Mephisto kind of like was introduced in the MCU in Agatha, but not physically shown, just name dropped. Ironheart is when we physically saw the human form Mephisto and a little bit of demonic form in the reflection. We haven't seen the demonic form out of the reflection yet, I think, his true form. But yeah, so you saw the end of Ironheart, him offering Riri the chance to get her resurrect her friend Natalie, right? And they left on a cliffhanger. Okay, but now with Mephisto in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this opens up a whole new can of worms going forward for the MCU. Because yes, we are getting Fantastic Four. I don't think Mephisto has an instant effect for Fantastic Four at all. Right? We are getting Wonder Man. I don't think it's going to affect Wonder Man at all. Daredevil boarding against season 2. I don't think Mephisto's going to be influenced there. Okay, but we are getting Spider-Man, and maybe he could be a Spider-Man Brand New Day. He does have a connection to Spider-Man in the comics, where everybody knew his identity, and so he summoned Mephisto. He wanted Mephisto to erase everybody's knowledge of them knowing that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, but in the process, he has to pay the price, and that his marriage with Mary Jane had to end. And ironically, that comic is called Brand New Day. So maybe there's something there. Maybe Mephisto on Brand New Day, the movie. Maybe it's possible. Is it a coincidence? It could be a coincidence. But who knows? I may be on something there. I have nothing to back that up, but it's just something comic book fans will know about, especially average Spider-Man fans. Okay. Now, Avengers Doom is interesting because in the comics, he has a connection to Doctor Doom. Definitely has a connection to Doctor Doom. There is a connection to Doctor Doom in his family, right? In his family. So there is something with Doctor Doom connection to Doctor Doom, Victor Von Doom, right? Also, but we are getting a little bit of supernatural in the MCU. Doctor Strange is supernatural, right? Agatha, witches. Blade, Blade we're supposed to get with vampires. We're getting obviously we got demons, Dormammu, right? Death. Death, Wheel Vidal, aka Death, right? So we are werewolf by night. So there are supernatural elements. I guess Moon Knight fits in that category. So we are getting supernatural elements into the MCU, especially in this saga. We're currently in the multiverse saga. Okay, and he could fit there. He could fit there, right? He could fit in there. So, like if the rumor moving for a while now is Midnight Suns, he could possibly be the future villain of Midnight Suns, if that's ever gonna happen. The problem is with Midnight Suns is who is gonna be the team, because you would think Doctor Strange is on it, right? Blade, you would think Blade's on it, right? Maybe Moon Knight, if they ever resurrect. Maybe Scarlet Witch if they do resurrect her, if she's coming back. I'm 50-50 on that. I'm not sure, just because the actress is being diplomatic about it. Like playing around with the idea that she's willing to come back or not. But I'm not gonna get into that. Who else? I don't know who else would be fit on the Midnight Suns team. Obviously, yeah, Ghost Rider would say. Yeah, so and that's a very interesting thing there, Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider, he's one of the major characters we haven't seen in the MCU, right? And last Ghost Rider the last live action Ghost Rider was Robbie Reyes in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., played by Gabriel Luna, who is, if you watch Last of Us, is playing Tommy, Joel's brother, right? He was Robbie Reyes in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. version of Ghost Rider. And then obviously the film version was Nicolas Cage, right? But Mephisto was in both versions played by different actors, right? By different actors. Metamorphoses, as I think it's real, as actually his name is based off. So Ghost Rider is very, very interesting here, because I do think the introduction of Mephisto in the MCU is making me believe we're getting closer to a Ghost Rider introduction into the Marvel Cinematic Universe at some point. It could be in Avengers movies, but I don't see how you fit. Maybe a Secret Wars, but I don't see how it fit in Avengers Doomsday. But maybe a Secret Wars we could get Ghost Rider. Maybe if they're not doing a Midnight Suns not game. There was a game spelled differently. If they're not doing a Midnight Suns movie, if that becomes official, it's not really a dumb idea to introduce Ghost Rider in Midnight Suns. And Midnight Suns, not necessarily the villain has to be Mephisto. You could have another supernatural villain, like Lucifer. Oh, not just Lucifer is not Mephisto, not Satan in Marvel. You could do Mephisto's son in Midnight Suns. Blackheart. You could do Blackheart if you want, right? But I think if they're doing Midnight Suns, not a bad way to introduce Mephisto in. Not just Mephisto, but Ghost Rider in Midnight Suns. And then from there, you can spin off Ghost Rider to an introduction. How it depends on the version. If it's Johnny Cage, that version, what we all know about, how it became a Ghost Rider, we could do a prequel movie to that. Or if you want to go to the Robbie Reyes movie, you could do that. I don't know if they can incorporate one of our Agent Seals or go freshly new with a younger version. Robbie Reyes is a younger version of Ghost Rider. But I think Midnight Suns is not a bad idea to introduce Ghost Rider. It's just the problem is, what's the team? How are we going to get the team to? What's the team going to be for Midnight Suns? If that's ever going to happen. I don't think. Look, Marvel Studios is not having a Comic-Con. There's not a presentation at Comic-Con this year in San Diego. So I don't expect anything to be announced because they're not going to be there. D23, on the other hand, is in August. That's a Disney event, obviously. So all Disney-related properties going to be there, whether it's not Pixar. I think it might be Pixar, whatever. Lucasfilms, their live action stuff, their Fox stuff, and of course Marvel Studios. Maybe they'll announce some stuff at D23. Last year at D23, they just saved some stuff that they didn't present at Comic-Con for D23. This year, Marvel really doesn't have that much stuff compared to the last few years, right? We just got the Avenger movies, the Spider-Man movie, but that's technically Sony, and Wonder Man and Daredevil and Vision's Crest. So not as much. So that's why they're skipping Marvel Studios. I know they're saying it's because of the cast is in England and across the world, but I don't believe it for a second, because they could suspend production for a couple days just to have the cast arrive at Marvel Studios, at San Diego Hall H. They'll be it for a second at Hall H. And then because the movie comes out in December next year anyway, right? So what's a few days of suspension on the film? What's a few days? Maybe it's because the scheduling with the other actors, the actors and actresses for other movies that they or TV shows that they signed on. Maybe I can see it like that possibly. But yeah, so where do you think Mephisto goes in the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe? Where do you think Ghost Rider goes? How would you incorporate Ghost Rider? Would you have him introduced in Avengers movies? Would you introduce him in a Midnight Suns movie and spin him off to his own movie? Just tell me your thoughts below how you would do Mephisto and how you do Ghost Rider and like the role Mephisto has in the MCU and also Ghost Rider if you want. Because I believe this is a step with Mephisto in the MCU. I believe this is a step. We're getting closer to Ghost Rider's MCU debut. Don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be this year, next year, the year after, the year after. I just believe this is a step forward to getting Ghost Rider in MCU. This is a step forward. But those steps could be there could be a long staircase, okay? A long staircase. You can still be at the bottom step. You can still be at the bottom step. You just walk up one step. You haven't reached the top yet. When we reach the top of the staircase, that's when we know when Ghost Rider's in the MCU. But yeah, tell me your thoughts, guys. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Bye. Take care, guys. And with